We've got more Cowboys news and rumors following the Joe Milton trade from earlier today. We broke that down in depth. Hope you guys watched the video on that one. Since we filmed that, we do have the actual nitty-gritty details, which we knew was a 5th and a 7th. We knew it was one of the 2 Cowboys comp picks and one of the 3 Patriots 7th rounders. It's 217 to Dallas, 171 to the Patriots, which means they've moved down 46 slots for about the rough trade value of an early 6th round pick. That's pretty cheap in terms of getting a potential new backup QB. Now, the Cowboys may or may not be done. It's been multiple things is what the Jones boys have alluded to, not just one, although I think they've had the 5th round offer-ish for Milton out for a little bit now. Will the Cowboys make that trade? Make another trade, 1 for yes, 0 for no. One name that we mentioned a little bit, a month ago, 2 months ago now, that's still out there is Jaire Alexander, the Packers corner. The Cowboys still need cornerback help, and Alexander's future remains uncertain. This is what the Packers GM Brian Gutekunst, I think I pronounced that correctly, I probably didn't, had to say on Alexander. We're still working through that. Obviously a very good player for us, and we have some time to figure out that and see what's best for him and for the organization. We invested a lot in Jaire, and we want to make sure if he's not going to be on our football team, helping us win games, that we get something back for that investment. Look, I honestly thought he would have been cut by now. The Packers could have saved a decent amount of money. That relationship has been a little bit rocky. There's been ups and some downs from Alexander over the past 2-ish years that worked fine in the playoffs last year, or year before that against the Cowboys, unfortunately. Alexander is a talented player. There are issues here, the biggest of which is he hasn't been healthy. When he's been healthy, he's been good, but he has missed a lot of time over the past 2 seasons. He's missed a lot of time in 2024, a lot of time in 2023, didn't play all of 2022, missed almost all of 2021. That's a problem. And I think that the injuries, the inconsistency in terms of being out on the field is why Green Bay has been open to moving on. But they clearly don't want to give up on him and give him away from them. They don't think they want to cut him. That could be a leverage point. That could be a, trying to hold your value and get something back for him. But I don't know who's beating down the door, and clearly nobody is, to trade for Jaire Alexander right now. He's got a $24.64 million cap hit plus some additional money in potential roster bonuses. He's owed $17.5 million in cash right now. That'd be the Cowboys cap hit minus like a little over $500,000 for incentives that don't count the cap because they're not going to be earned for roster bonuses. That's a lot of money to pay. Packers save just over 7.5 right now, 17.12 if they cut or trade him after June 1st. He's then also owed a non-guaranteed $19.5 million in 2026. It's a lot of money. Cowboys could make it work. They have the funds available. I think a player like Jaire Alexander is what they need, can play on the outside. If needed, can go shift on the inside too. Has that kind of borderline insane personality to be a corner. Incredibly confident in a positive sense. But that money is, that's a problem there. So would you trade for Jaire Alexander? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. With Jaire Alexander's future in Green Bay still murky, I do have interest in him for the Dallas Cowboys. He is a great fit for what they need right now at the cornerback spot, at least on the field. When healthy, he's still good. He'd be an impactful player. He would elevate your defense. The money involved is almost assuredly going to be a massive issue for the Dallas Cowboys and the way they choose to run that organization. It's also why no one traded for him yet. $17.5 million in cash is a lot of money. I don't know if the Green Bay Packers want to eat any of that because they could just cut him. So I think it's still in the something to monitor status, especially as we get into day 3 of the NFL draft. Because I think if they could have gotten a premium pick, they would have traded him already. So depending on what the Cowboys do or don't do at corner in this year's draft, someone like Alexander, even if he's cut or as a maybe trade candidate if Green Bay is willing to eat some money, is something to keep an eye out for. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Springtime is here. Baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineups with its strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash today. Football season-long Prize Picks are available as well. Jared Goff, less than passing yards. Lions offense might not be as good. Rashee Rice will eat into Travis Kelce's receiving yards, less than there. I don't think the Commanders want Jaden Daniels to run as much either, less than rushing yards on that front. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. Now, ESPN has dropped a new 2-round NFL mock draft, and I would argue this is pretty damn close to the dream scenario for the Cowboys. That's realistic, you know. Gas masks leak for Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. You get them in round 1 and round 2, right? And that's not realistic. Round 1, pick 12, was T-Mac, Tetairoa McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. I am a big fan of his game. He does not offer the same speed that Matthew Golden offers. However, he's also incredibly more productive. 12 games, averaged over 100 yards per game, not just this year, but last year as well. He can do actually a lot more things after the catch than you might expect for a player of his size, of his frame. Ignoring the Travis Hunter hybrid stuff, I think he is the best wide receiver in this class. Then in round 2 of that ESPN mock draft, Travion Henderson was the pick. And this is my type of runner. Some people want power runners. Some people want more explosive, big playability. I fall into the latter. I want the big chunk plays. That is who Henderson is. You want to get explosive out of your backfield? Henderson fits that. I think there's some pre-injury J.K. Dobbins. I don't mind a Tony Pollard comp here, quite frankly. I don't want to give him 200 carries in a season, but I think the overall production was pretty damned impressive, all things considered. I liked a lot of what I saw from Travion Henderson this year. He is also an incredibly good third down back. He is one of the best pass protectors in this class and can make plays out of the backfield as well. I like a lot of Henderson. I think a combination of Henderson and McMillan is a damn good 1-2 punch. So what would you grade that kind of first 2 picks? A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. For me, that's an A. I love it. You get my number 1 wide receiver, and you secure a great back. Guys we've spent time on in this pre-draft process of this person fits what the Cowboys are searching for. I don't know if either guy will be there. Don't know if they'll take them. But it's probably not an accident that NFL.com, in their dream 2-round mock draft, had the exact 2 same things, McMillan and Henderson. Now, it is a dream. Sometimes those happen. Sometimes those don't. But both of those make sense. And Todd McShay, formerly of ESPN, now with The Ringer in one of his recent videos, said he has heard a lot of noise about T-Mac going 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. I am on board with this. I think McMillan as an outside threat with his after-catch ability, with his size, with his ball control, his ball skills, all of that, I think that'd be a fantastic pick at number 12. Whether he's the first receiver, second receiver, whatever, I would be fully on board with that round 1 selection. Now, we will have live NFL draft coverage for you right here on the channel, so make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV for more free Cowboys YouTube videos. Now, we have some more 30-visit news. Ryan Fowler over at the Draft Network reports that Jonah Savaiinaea, he clarified his pronunciation, has a 30-visit set up with the Dallas Cowboys. This is the 6th known 30 visit coming up, by the way. Jonah's mostly been a tackle. I think guard is where he ends up playing. This would be a right guard candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. That's the intention of bringing him in for a visit. He's got fantastic arm length, by the way. He did a lot of zone blocking at Arizona. I think that's something that the Cowboys have interest in doing. He's not the 6'5" he was listed at. I don't think he's an elite level athlete, but I think he's not the best recoverer once he gets beat. Kicking inside the guard, I think actually does help that. I look at him as a strong, day 2 option for the Dallas Cowboys. So that brings us now to 6 30 visits. Bashal Tutin out of Virginia Tech, Jonah Savanai out of Arizona, Alfred Collins, the DT from Texas, Shamar Stewart, the edge from Texas A&M. I have now learned, because he changed it from what it was, or at least told people that we weren't saying it right in the entirety of his collegiate career. It is Savone Revel. Savone, not Siobhan. It is Savone. He clarified that not long ago, by the way. Quarterback from ECU, I think, is undergoing his 30 visit today with the Dallas Cowboys. I believe I saw an update on that, or from his dad. Yeah, hanging out with the Cowboys today. And then Andrew Makuba, the safety out of Texas. The 6 of the 30 visits that we know so far. Now, the off-season workouts here have been announced. Now, the Cowboys could have started on April 7th. They are not, which might be because your head coach wants to go do some more pro day draft stuff. Possible. April 14th is the start. OTAs in May from the 19th to the 20th, the 22nd, 28th, and the 30th. OTAs in June from the 2nd and 3rd and the 5th, and then mandatory minicamp, June 10th to the 12th. But after the draft and before the OTAs in May, in that little time frame, you'll have rookie minicamp as well.